A very warm welcome back to the Manila Major and welcome back to the panel. We are almost ready for our second game in match number 1 of the day. It's MVP versus Liquid. MVP taking game 1 against the odds. I just want to remind the panel, I did say so.
Did you though?
Did you?
I feel like you did just as much as I did.
You voted for everything though.
Not
yeah,
exactly.
you kind of went every way, Kevin, to be fair. You did vote on both teams.
I'm just trying to tell everybody what the chances are. That's all. I can give a point and then extrapolate on it. Isn't that my job? Come on.
No,
I mean, maybe I extrapolated too much, but...
Well, you came back round on yourself and you were like, yeah, either team can win this.
I just talked for 20 seconds and I could have done 10.
I think you tried to hedge your bets for 20 seconds.
No, it's not about hedging.
I'm with Charlie on this.
It's not all about hedging my bets.
It's rare that I agree with Charlie, but I agree with him on this.
It's not about
I'm
hedging.
Seems a good purge.
Seems a good purge.
You guys are jerks.
Ruined.
I was going to say
no,
something
I said, you know, are we all aboard the Korean hype train? You were like, no, absolutely
No,
not. And then Charlie shut it down completely.
That was not about the team. That was about the...
No, I'm just generally, I said at TI5 last year, MVP will win a major tournament before we get back to TI6.
Paul, don't think I didn't see your retweet. I know what you're talking. You're trying to like take all this credit and say like, oh, this is your plan from the beginning. I didn't feel that during the panel. Anyone else?
Nope.
Can I get some
Not at all.
backup?
All right,
yeah,
okay.
thank you.
I got ruined. Can I ruin Charlie once more? Because
Please go ahead.
He got 4 out of 8, which is the same as me. Just saying.
Oh.
Hey, groups tournament isn't over yet. And
Okay.
I only submitted those just to get Knoxville to stop bothering me.
Okay, we're into the
excuses.
draft, and we do have 3 bans. We do see the Bristle ban. We do see the IO ban
Same
from MVP.
ban, same picks.
So exactly the same, and the first pick is the Beastmaster.
Okay, so same opening.
Do you feel like that Beastmaster wasn't as terrible as we made out on the panel? Do you think we over-elaborated? Maybe it was the best thing actually Liquid had in the game.
I don't think it was terrible by any means.
No.
I just felt like maybe he could have gotten involved in like a sooner manner. Like Kevin was saying, like instead of having one of those stuns being set up, they needed mind control, I feel like, to come with them, because we did see one of the engagements happen and we're like, where's mind control? And we look and we're like, oh, he took like 2 towers. What happened? But now we do see a bit of a change up coming out here from MVP Phoenix, and they actually decided to take the AA.
He farmed a lot that game, but he needed some kills as well. At some point, towers don't matter if you're not winning fights, and they didn't win the fights.
Yep.
So I think it still works. It's fine that they first picked it. They just have to adjust their gameplay. And
He's got to contribute more. He's got to look for the pickoffs. That's what you pick Beastmaster for. You don't pick him to split push. I mean, it's great that he got those towers, but if you get 2 towers at the expense of your entire team losing a team fight, not worth.
But I feel like also that's where the Ricky really shined for me, because generally you have Hawk because you're scouting for the ganks and everything, but when the gank is invisible, you're not really able to do anything about it. You're not able to set up for the Lifestealer because he's always just gone. He's off the map, and you're like, what's going on? Oh yeah, he's inside of a Ricky who's just running around throughout and just messing up everything that we have going on.
it was so strong with just 2 heroes that they could have heroes anywhere on the map normally, and you wouldn't be able to predict it as well. It was very cool. But I like that Phoenix has completely changed it up, because Liquid's going to be able to adjust to what happened last game. They have to go to a different page now. They steal the A as well, rather than letting Liquid get it. And right now, the A is looking pretty good against the Death Prophet.
Yeah.
It's super good.
Both of them are very good versus the Death Prophet. Of course, because Death Prophet isn't really the highest armor hero. Amplified damage is quite good versus it, as well as Slardar being able to just get that instant initiation with a follow-up of the AA Ice Blast. He's not going to be able to use Spirit Siphon at all if they do it properly.
She has like 4 problems at the 15-minute mark, when normally DP just has like health and movement speed problems. Now she has to worry about armor. She has to worry about possibly magic immunity, because then she just can't heal. There's a lot of problems with the Death Prophet pick here. Hopefully Liquid can alleviate that. Maybe there's some support options or initiating first, backing him up, but it's going to be a bit of a weird game for DP here.
I think this is definitely going to be about initiation first.
Yes.
If you saw in the last game, MVP won those fights because they just went on them first. And then they forced Liquid to react. And they're not a great reaction team. Like they didn't have the Tidehunter. They didn't have ways of counter ganking or saving a hero. If somebody got gone on, they just got gone on. There wasn't much you can do about it. But in this case, it's going to be even more important, because you have those key targets like Death Prophet, who, if she gets gone on in the beginning, that's like, what, almost 30-40% of your team's damage gone in a fight?
Yeah, at least.
Phoenix ban?
Phoenix banned. I think that is probably just because there's so much pushing power. They don't want to have they don't want Liquid to have so much sustain in case anything goes wrong in the laning phase.
No Spirit ban though.
No Spirit ban though. And I feel like I feel like this time this one they will ban it, because Death Prophet with Earth Spirit is it's much easier. You just like it gives you that guarantee to protect your death prophet. You just sit behind him. If you get a Spirit Siphon off and a roll off, whoever's mid is basically dead.
Or silence, like if Earth Spirit goes in and then you back him up with a silence, that's like a guaranteed refresh on the stones, and they just have to run. So if they don't ban it, I agree. I think that would be a bit of a mistake here.
Glad to see the Lifestealer banned out, though, but it didn't seem like MVP, I don't know if they really wanted it this game. Maybe they would have picked it later on, but it was a nice change up of seeing them go for the slaughter.
You feel like if they're going to pick it, they're going to pick it first round, right?
Yeah, more than likely. This Tusk ban is really interesting. Of course, Jarax does play it, but he's one of the few people that still plays it, and it's also really good at avoiding the AA Blast. Like, if the AA Blast does get on the Death Prophet and he's able to snowball that Death Prophet out of that situation, it's hugely beneficial. So I like that by MVP.
And they were saying basically he didn't play the Earth Spirit, right?
Yeah.
Well, or not.
Well, Liquid actually banned it out this time.
Or not.
I mean, it's scary both ways, really. I mean, MVP's draft right now, with Slardar and A, they're all about killing one person. The two heroes they banned were Phoenix and Tusk, both good at saving a core, assuming there's no Ice Blast for Phoenix's case. So they need to be able to prevent those kind of combos from happening. Because like you said, if DP dies right at the start, the fight's over. So Liquid kind of put themselves in a corner slightly by picking the DP there, but if they also left it to second round, it was almost surely going to get banned.
Sure, they're going to get banned.
They probably feel that it's their strongest mid hero, better than Dragon Knight, especially for surviving that kind of burst and outputting damage. Fada's his Dragon Knight at some point just didn't do enough damage last game, and for more reasons than just the heart.
Agreed. And looks like MVP Phoenix does pick up the Venge. I like this a lot. Minus armor strat, especially since they're on Dire, to set up stun for Slardar. Another way to initiate fights.
Yeah, I really like it the way that Kevin was talking about how they have that one sort of like single target thing. This is another way to isolate the DP. If he's out of position in any way, they're going to be able to just either swap him in or use the Slardar in a different manner, or have even Slardar going in the back lines while they go on the DP with a nice swap.
The only downside here for MVP Phoenix that Febi's gonna definitely have to get Chilling Touch this game, because Ice Vortex really isn't gonna be very useful.
Why wouldn't you get Chilling Touch, Kevin? Isn't that just usually that you see it skilled?
I'm gonna pass up the best single point value in the game. Maybe not the best, but definitely one of the best.
Hey, it's not the first time he's done something like that.
That's what we were looking at the replay. Last night we're watching it and we're like, Febi actually he's 4-4-0. He just didn't skill Chilling Touch. He just didn't care. I mean, it worked for them.
Oh man, their gank combo is so good with Invoker here.
Even more single target burst, but also this gives them, Invoker gives them a lot more of that AoE potential and more team fight, which they are lacking a little bit right now.
So now MP's going to go mid, since he is their Invoker player, very talented Invoker. Slardar safe lane will probably go the Armlet Blink build, similar to how he does other games. So I guess Liquid's solution is pressure the Slardar. When we saw MVP do this last night in a replay, they put all of their wards defensively to protect the Slardar safe lane. So that means that they know the counter to this draft is shutting down the Slardar. That's the first guy that's going to go in, unless it's something like Swap or Blink on Invoker, but it's the key here is Slardar for MVP Phoenix, so Liquid needs support ways that they can punish Slardar in the early game.
Yeah, I like this a lot. If you know, like, this is a contrast to how Secret drafts their initiators, where you typically have Universe, all the burden is on him to create space to start fights, and they sort of just sack him. In contrast, MVP Phoenix, they realize, hey, it's all on Slardar here, we're going to protect him the entire game. We're going to make sure he gets that early farm, gets his Blink Dagger real fast, and then play around that, rather than, hey, Universe, make space for us for 20 minutes.
I like this Gyro pick, though, because just like Kevin was saying, MVP wants to protect this Slardar, but Gyro is one of those heroes where, you hit like level 6, level 7, and you make your move, and you make that aggression happen. So we tend to see QO actually sit in the safe lane a bit when he's playing these Slardars. He gets his armlet, sure, and then he kind of just farms up his Blink Dagger while his team is making space all around him. Maybe we'll see a little bit of a difference because they have this Invoker, but I really like this approach by Liquid if that's the way they want to take it.
It's a great hero for punishing Slar early. If he ever uses Sprint, he's just going to take insane amounts of damage from Rocket Barrage, Cooldown. It gives him that potential to do something that was figured out 2 months ago. You just constantly gank the Slardar sometimes. You just rotate Gyro over when his cooldown, when he's at full HP, full mana, got his cooldowns, go up there, kill Slar. And they can do it with Lift as well. The Telekinesis Lift will help push him more out of position, give Gyro a much better chance of getting good Rocket Barrage and good cooldown.
Yeah, this is going to be all about Team Liquid contesting that Slardar's farm. Slardar has a good game. I think Liquid's in a lot of trouble. If he gets behind early, doesn't get his items, can't start fights, I think this is going to be a much easier win for Liquid.
MVP does have some pretty important level 6s on their supports, though. Both the Venge and the AA get a ton of value. from hitting 6 there, so they may prioritize less roaming. It's also possible Liquid could get more value just out of their regular lanes, just by heavy support roaming between Rubik and whatever their last pick will be.
So what do you like for Liquid here? They're missing
one more support hero.
One more support hero, and it's
They need a hero for Jerax.
unless they change it up and go off lane with Fury on you.
Okay.
They're gonna put the jungle Beastmaster then, and this just gives them a lot more push. It gives them a frontliner having the treants for scouting as well throughout the stages of the game. And I wonder if MVP is going to go for more heavy team fight now, because Liquid does have pretty decent team fight with the Death Prophet, but other than that, it's not really the best. It's more kind of this like pick off type thing, and except if the gyrocopter is like, of course, in position properly. But
I like it. I mean, they can get away with this, I think, just because it's AA and Venge. It's not aggressive enough. They can roam quite well. They're 2 ranged heroes, but they always have to be together. They can't do it solo, with the exception of maybe Venge.
So AA is incredibly static. You don't want to move around very much. You want to just sit in your lane, pull, and then when your carry leaves, just sit in that lane and get level 6 and then throw Ice Blast everywhere. You don't want to move.
So MVP is probably looking at what, like the Darkseer or the Void, just something to like finish up rounding up their team fight and everything else.
They can't Darkseer versus Gyro, though. That would give
or Axe.
a really good lane.
This is actually very similar to one of the drafts they did recently, but they did end up losing with the Axe, so I want to see how well it ends up working out for them.
Are they going to 1v1 Axe NP?
It's possible.
It's definitely possible.
Go aggro try, which would allow them to rotate supports from the aggressive into the Beastmaster.
It's definitely a possibility.
All right, thank you to all 3 of you. We are getting ready for game number 2 here in our first series of the day. Let's try and send it over to our commentary team of Capitalist and Wagger.
That's right, the last pick, Furion and Axe, are going to set the stage for MVP Phoenix and Team Liquid. Wagga, we're talking about the possibility of aggro in our little pre-game talks. Do you think this is going to be the case?
I think MVP could definitely go aggro. Put the Axe against Furion. You can get bullied if he gets the boots early and into face boots, but I think MVP, they have their kind of picks here. MP Invoker, QO Slardar. I'm excited for this one.
Did you like the idea that Liquid switching up to put Kuro on the Beastmaster and have him go for the jungle wall?
I actually think they played well with the Beastmaster offlane last game, but this is a different approach. Could
All right.
be nice.
A different approach in game number 2, MVP Phoenix versus Liquid. We're going to start things off here with Liquid actually maybe trying to get some early ideas of what's going to be going on into this game. Jerax actually TPs out and throws down the very early kind of very defensive laning ward.
That's because they want to see. They're also thinking, are they going to be aggro tri-laning? Because they want to react to this. They don't want to pair up Furion against Axe if you can avoid it. Furion, pretty hard hero to tower dive if he has the trains to block. So
yeah, and you'd kind of like the Gyrocopter matched up against the Axe, right? If you somehow are able to isolate, you've got a disable there, a lot of magic damage to output.
I think Rubik and Gyrocopter can kill Axe quite easily. But we'll see. Most likely, if they're by the looks of things, Axe is going to be offlane, and he has the Iron Talon, meaning he's going to be the jungle offlane pretty much.
They've already kind of given up that information, which this does kind of give the advantage to Liquid, right? Beastmaster is one of the fastest junglers ever since the change-up of damage types to the boars. So this does feel like Forev won't be able to keep pace with Kuro.
It's the greedy jungle style.
Yeah, but that really is up to our supports of MVP
both
Phoenix.
rooms.
And that is definitely a good start.
MVP, they're going to get it. No contest by Liquid here, despite having very strong level 1 heroes, but they just have to give it up. AA, all the stunts. MVP simply have more.
So in that case, if we have perhaps a little bit more freed up supports on the side of MVP Phoenix, Dubu, as well as Febby, have a lot of reasons to move around the map potentially. They can't necessarily always shut out the Furion. What do you think their game plan is in the first 5 minutes?
Probably just to try and be able to get their pull at some point here. Of course, first one gets blocked up by the Treants, and as we see, as always, the Treants trying to get the experience here into the Furion's tower.
Yeah, Dubu is going to try and right-click him down, but even if they do both end up dying, Mind Control make sure the pull does end up going all the way through and should be able to get his fast level 2 because of that. Meanwhile, we have our mid matchup. NP is going to be facing up against Fada's Death Prophet.
This is another one of those heroes that Fada loves to play. He loves Dragon Knight, he loves Death Prophet, Razor, Viper, these kind of heroes. Tanky pushers, he plays them really well.
Yeah, particularly heroes that abuse one-on-one matchups as well, I think is something that Fada really shines on. And ever since the change up the Death Prophet, adding in Spirit Siphon, it's definitely become one of those strong 1v1 heroes.
And it is going to be a Crosswex Invoker as MP likes to play. He could have played Exor in this game, but I think it's better to go for a comfort zone. He displays this so much, and it allows him to take control of the game while QO farms up.
And interesting choice here. I kind of like this. MP actually turning and fighting Fada a little bit, letting the full Spirit Siphon go through, but actually still getting more damage out on Fada than
he had the
Fada
creep
was able to
advantage.
return.
So just playing towards that with his Cold Snap, it makes a lot of sense. And yeah, pretty much calm and collected early game here as the Beastmaster is going to keep jungling up. The Rubik actually stacking and preparing for the Gyrocopter as well.
Let's see if we were right. It's actually pretty close between our two junglers here. Forev, of course, is abandoning the off lane compared to the 4th position Beastmaster, but Forev is level 3.
Someone needs to buy a TP scroll right now. One of the supports should be going bottom, I think. Maybe even Febby will take it, because Axe, he doesn't have a TP scroll, and he won't be able to get there and take the experience that Jaro is pushing into a tower now.
Well, both supports do have a TP scroll, but if they go now, they may still be wrapped around on that. I think that's the idea behind Jarix. He does reveal himself. I think he was just clearing through, seeing if the Axe was in the offlane camp, or maybe even checking out the Ancients, see if that was stacked up at all.
Mind Control doing a good job denying the pull here by MVP support. They want to not push into a tower, all these creeps coming, and the Treants gonna try. No, not gonna go in for this. So both the range creeps are being pulled back, and one on melee as well.
So the idea between Forev's Axe is that he picked up an early level of Battle Hunger to help him stack, and because of that, he's not only just going through the medium camp, he's clearing through some other stacks as well, and he's almost level 5 now. He's actually top CS on the board, Beastmaster.
You actually farm insanely fast with a Jungle Axe.
Yeah, I didn't realize this. I didn't realize it would be faster than the Beastmaster of all heroes.
There's been some tutorials and guides showing people getting extremely fast level 6, like 4 minutes and some 10 seconds or something. So it comes down a little bit to spawns, though. I think Beastmaster relies more on getting good spawns than Axe relies more than the Beastmaster. Whereas Beastmaster can kill pretty much anything. It's the same thing, right? Boars are gonna kill whatever.
Yep. Forev did it perfectly. Dropped very, very low, but was able to complete his Tranquil Boots and heads back to base, and that'll speed up his jungling that much more. And we could be looking at a Blink Dagger that is fast enough to be seen anywhere from 10 to 13 minutes.
Yeah, definitely. He could get that. And right now, both teams are just letting the other farm. We see a suicide by Dubu, just going back to base and healing up.
Yeah, not worrying about it too much. Just a free trip back to base. Okay, so the Axe is actually, now that he has Tranquil Boots, is going to show himself in lane.
That's a good choice.
They may not actually have the levels to be able to push back against him. Matumba Man is level 5, but doesn't quite have his ultimate.
Axe being on the lane means that the supports can now not only gank mid, they can also gank bottom.
Right.
Because Vench and AA together are quite strong. I'm surprised he doesn't have a single point in Chilling Touch.
That was tempting. MVP Phoenix, they thought about wrapping into the jungle, but instead they're going to catch Jarix here on the side. Good telekinesis that will be able to stall things up with Cold Feet proc hits. That'll be your first blood. Febby takes it in the end.
Yeah, they get it. Beautiful stuff. The two supports going to be happy about that one. We saw Febby get really farmed in his Lich last game.
Oh, Vada challenging MP here. Does manage to get off the Spirit Siphon just in time, but he's completely out of mana. Tornado buys him a little bit more time, but he finally has enough mana. And MP, Fairy Fire, not going to be enough. Vada, he takes it.
That's beautiful. They were talking earlier on the panel how he always is very stable, but this goes out of the ordinary. Getting a solo kill in mid lane.
Yeah, absolutely. He sees the opportunity, very brilliant. Sees the opportunity up against Cold Snap EMP to just turn around, go for the Spirit Siphon, double play there. And now Rubik actually manages to pick up the kill on the Axe with help of the Gyrocopter, while the rest of MVP Phoenix surrounding Kuro. Got to be able to catch him out, half of his HP. He gets off the Primal Roar, hoping to be able to pick up the Febby turnaround kill. Febby immediately tries to TP out. Jarix, no! Oh. The TP out is successful!
Yeah, he didn't have the lift. He had to go for the nuke. Cooldown just came back after the TP was done. So close. MVP are going to be pretty happy about that one, though. Killing off the Beastmaster, that's a high-level kill.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially since when they went for that smoke earlier, they almost ran into the Beastmaster, and he was, again, sitting at that half HP zone. But
man, he could go for an early Midas on this AA. He has 1,000 gold already. Oof. And boots
that
are
would
in his
actually
inventory.
be that would actually be great for the idea of Liquid maybe trying to slow down this game a bit and hit a very hard 30-minute timer. If you can get a fast Midas on this Ancient Apparition, you could talk about things other than just the Aghanims. We could see more of that combative playstyle of the AA, maybe something like Force Staff or those other utility items to help out.
Yeah. I'm surprised that MP didn't go for boots early on the mid lane. Against the Death Prophet, it's sort of like laning against a Razor. You want to have boots so you can break the Spirit Siphon, but that could have been an item that could have saved him earlier. He just goes for a Blazer attack to increase his last hitting, of course. He'll have it soon, though.
The idea of trying to man up against the Death Prophet a little bit more when Spirit Siphon is both on and off.
Both the supports have been scouted here. They ran through the lane ward, not smoked for this one.
We'll see whether or not Liquid are able to counter this, or if they're able to just gotta sit back and play it passive and waste the support's time. Because they do have Kuro's level 6 and his Primal Roar is ready to go once again.
It's a triple stack on the big camp as well, so there's a lot of reason to fight down here.
Both teams actually know about each other. They do have that aggressive ward laid out by MVP Phoenix that spotted Kuro walking over. And obviously our laning ward for Liquid spotting the 2 support rotations. So things are pretty awkward right now where both teams kind of facing off against each other. Both think that they have the jump on the other.
They have the Hawk, so they get even better intel on Liquid now, seeing exactly where Axe is camping. But it seems Kuro is just going to start trying to kill off the triple stack before they come out and fight.
Yeah, smart. The 2 supports will actually decide at this point in time to do the full wraparound behind mid, but at the same time, Fada has actually joined the rest of his team, who wants to be able to pick up that 8-minute rune.
I like that movement, though, because they saw them move down bottom. There should be some contesting, so good heads-up play by the mid to go down there and try to be useful to his team early. But instead, they make the long run around.
Because the Death Prophet hasn't shown up at that top rune,
they're just
very likely picked up bottom, so they're going to rotate instead into top lane where Mind Control should be picked off. Lead with the stun, follow-up Q-Ho hits his follow-up stun, and they even had the cold feet still. You can see the bottom lane Axe, they tried to go on him, but it looks like Rev did manage to dodge a little bit, but now he goes headlong into him. They've got the Tornado, EMP goes out, managed to get the Kuro on the Kuro, bringing him lower and lower. Chop goes, but Rev doesn't get the extra movement speed as he misses out on the Culling Blade, and well, unfortunately.
Could have maybe lived if he got that, but he had to kill him quickly as well because Jaro was shooting him down.
Yeah, exactly. So 3 to 4, the trade-off there in the bottom lane. Both off-laners get traded away to each other, but obviously MVP Phoenix get the extra kill.
Yeah, and MP getting his first successful rotation there. And he's coming in behind them here mid.
Yeah, this actually could be a bit of a sandwich tornado. EMP goes off. Jarek's completely out of everything. Does manage to get the Fate Bolt off onto Dubu first. So support for support, but this does cost Fada his exorcism. Now he's going to catch up to MP. Spirit Siphon just rips him asunder. Now Forev, he's going to be up next. No more exorcism though, but they do have to block out of the trees. And Forev, chop down those trees, won't be able to do it. Didn't have his Iron Talon.
Fada playing so well in this game. Really nice to see the movement, just dodging the call as well, everything.
Traded his Iron Talon for a TP to head mid, and that results in being stuck in the trees long enough for the Primal Roar to land it. Just like that, Liquid is hitting on a tier 2.
Yeah, this tower, I don't think you can defend it, but they're going to try. They don't have level 6 on AA. They're still going to back off, though. Want to wait for Exorcism. Wow, Febby taking a lot of damage from that Fury and ulti, in fact.
And Jarex will get the space at top lane to complete his level 6. Very key is at level 5 Rubik is always a little bit obnoxious, just kind of sitting there knowing, you know, if I just had my level 6, I could be so much more impactful.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. Especially against this team. There are so many good spells that he could steal.
Yeah.
Practically all of MVP's lineup have nice spells for him, especially later when he has a Blink Dagger. Then even the call could be a good steal.
Right. So far, Liquid seem to be taking quite the net worth lead here in the laning phase with the Beastmaster doing quite well for themselves. It's kind of like the extra advantage of Liquid that they did have a 4-position jungling. MVP Phoenix just couldn't get enough done with their supports and continue to fail to do so as another rotation seems to be read by Liquid.
It's that, but also mainly just that win on the mid-team fight, taking the tower as well, almost, you know, getting some damage into the tier 2 tower. Puts everyone on their team in such a good position. Oh boy.
Fada gonna be spotted here as a
smoke. They get it.
Deep wraparound right into the Ice Blast, and Fada not gonna be able to make the heal to stay alive.
Yeah, Ice Blast there for a reason. Febby gets that one secured.
Yeah, good pick off there, 6-6. This actually puts our Slardar ahead in net worth now of everyone else. That being said, the following 4 members are all on the side of Blue Horse.
Yeah, Mind Control is going to get even more money here as he takes that top tower. And he has his full drums completed as well when he goes back to his base.
All right, that's not too bad. MVP Phoenix, they're going to try and trade away towers here.
Yeah, not an immediate trade, but they're probably going to run away.
Yeah,
Actually,
MVP
scared.
Phoenix.
They
Did they see perhaps with some of
They
these
didn't
deep
see the
wards?
smoke, but they saw them run away from mid. So
they've got a mid ward and they've got a deep jungle ward as well. So
yeah, between not seeing them mid anymore and not seeing them cross that path, it's pretty obvious smoke for them.
are they baiting out QO right now? It seems Jarek's smoke is going to pop. Fada's going to come through. Double silence, and Fada will be able to get the Spirit Siphon, causing a lot of damage to QO. But there's nothing else to be able to stop him. Rocket follows out, but Liquid should be able to deal with that one. Meanwhile, in the top lane, Ferev slows down Kuro, turn around, Primal Roar, just stops Ferev in his tracks. Kuro is actually in serious trouble as they think he was going for a TP out for a second, but now will be caught as the Ice Blast lands on him, combined with Cold Snap, and a chop to the head.
But he forced a lot of people to come up there. This bottom tower now being pressured by a DP and Gyrocopter, also going behind and dropping deep wards with the Rubik. He sees Dubu.
Yeah, Dubu maybe thinking about he can pull the creeps off the tower, but that's not going to happen. Jarex is instead going to catch him with the telekinesis follow-up, silence, and Matumba Man will be able to get the kill with the Rocket Barrage.
Yeah, they still have the Exorcism, but they're going to back out, expecting that all of MVP are ready to go down there.
But this is also where MVP Phoenix start getting super aggressive, right? We've got Blink Dagger on Slardar.
It's about that time. Blink and Armlet are completed. That's all QO needs. I saw him do some insane plays on Slardar in the group stage. His Armlet toggling was impeccable. It's going to be really hard in this game against the Rocket Barrage and against the Spirit Siphon, but I've seen him do some magic.
They could definitely use a team fight win here. Some of their members are falling a bit behind in experience. Matumba Man spotted out by an Ice Blast.
He's going to thank them for that. Speeds up his farming a little bit.
Sure. And he'll still be full HP very soon thanks to his Helmet Dominator.
And just very heads-up play by Liquid right now. They're forcing the enemy to react to their rules. They're pushing down mid. Beastmaster's just farming away and pushing top as well. So this smoke rotation coming in for MVP is on such a short timer. You don't have much time to catch someone until your lanes are just suffering. And look at mid. This is already obvious that they're smoking.
With Tier 2 being pushed in,
yeah, exactly.
Nobody protecting that, MVP's rotation becomes very obvious to read. And Liquid are actually so sure of what's going on here, they continue the push rather conservatively, but they're still continuing the push at the top lane.
Liquid definitely looking more prepared in this game than they did in the previous one. But MVP could also just go for Roshan. They have Slardar, can definitely do it. Level 2 on that ulti even, so minus 15 armor.
The Treants are there, of course, to be able to get the vision, but it might just be too fast for Liquid. That's fine. Liquid will still be able to take a Tier 2 at the top lane. You can see Kuro and Mind Control are at it now, and the rest of Liquid start wrapping through the Dire jungle.
Beastmaster is closing up. He gets the last hit. He's going to be very close to his Necro now. When he gets the first Necro book, he's already so much stronger. It's a very good item in its axe as well. So some of the AoE damage cannot be prevented.
Yeah, it's kind of tied up with Death Prophet and the Furion at this point. Ferev looks to be going a Blade Mail up next. The Tier 1 is going to be taken at bottom lane by QO, as we see Ferev defend the top lane, but it does cost them their middle Tier 2 tower. Liquid actually getting so much early map control now as I'm not sure MVP Phoenix, they're not in the same situation. It's kind of the same kind of play style I think they were looking at, but last time around, they were able to take all the fights on Liquid's side of the map, but here, Liquid have actually outmaneuvered them enough that they've gotten enough map control, all the lanes are being pushed in, that if a fight does happen, it's likely to be Liquid, the one enforcing it on the MVP side.
And what we're seeing now is why you and I were talking during the draft that maybe they should go aggressive MVP, they have great heroes for it, and just punish this jungle Beastmaster, because right now he's practically a core. He's out farming the Invoker, he's out farming the Axe. So Liquid are playing 4 cores against 3 here.
7-7. Things heating up now as Matumba Man gets popped as MVP Phoenix find a successful rotation of 3 into the jungle, catching the Gyrocopter. Will now stop pressuring that Tier 2 tower.
That's a good kill to find. They're going to start.
I think they've got this. I don't think Liquid are going to be able to TP back. It's just,
but
they're not set up for it.
This time it's Liquid that are not getting any trade. Furion is not farming right now. Most of the jungle is already farmed, so Beastmaster has to wait around before starting to kill more neutrals, and no tower is really being pressured.
And they give it over to the Slardar.
Yeah, good.
Would have liked to see our Invoker pick it up, just because I feel like he's a bit far behind.
He doesn't have his
that
Midas
solo
yet.
Kill. Yeah.
Now he gets it, the 16-minute Midas. Normally you want to have it at half that timer for a mid lane.
Yeah, not a good sign, especially in a Quas Wex Invoker. I feel like there's almost more incentive for a Quas Wex Invoker to get those levelers faster just because you're missing out on a bit of damage.
Which is also why I felt that Exor Invoker, it would secure him more if the game goes this way. If they cannot find kills and just being played around by Liquid, he would have the Meteor to just speed farm whenever there's a big creep wave, and he would have something to fall back on. Right now, he's in a very tough position. Axe has his full Blade Mail, along with the Blink as well.
Protecting the Gyrocopter, it seems, at all costs. I think they're anticipating MVP Phoenix to make another rotation to try and shut out that carry. It does make a lot of sense, especially since the Axe now has his Blade Mail. He can be a direct counter to the Axe, or to the Gyrocopter in many ways.
I think it could be Matumba Man just being traumatized from last game as well. He died, what, 11 times? It was a hard game to be the carry.
It was a rough Ursa.
He needs some protection here. Liquid, their stack on Ancient is being scouted out and blocked. It's already pretty stacked though, so they can farm that. Just 2 stacks.
They've got an Axe that can mess around with it. They still need to take this tier 1 at mid though. I think MVP Phoenix are going to be heading top first. They have the Ancient Apparition Ice Blast head over to the tier 1 tower earlier, and they probably know Mind Control's around, but they just don't know about that Shadow Blade. So it's able to get out, and now it's Liquid.
With the
marching
smoke
through their secret shop area. They're going to try and make the initiation onto QO before he can manage to get the blink out.
They don't have the best initiation heroes on Liquid. No blinker, no nothing. They kind of have to walk in with Rubik and Lift, or get a roar from long distance, but again, no blink.
Crypt Swarm stalls it up. The tier 1 tower still gets taken out. Liquid not doing anything with that one, despite having a lot of reasons to do so, to be able to get that initiation. But
yeah, they're just respecting the Aegis. It's too dangerous to go into MVP sometimes here.
Yeah.
But it is timing out soon, and Liquid could be looking to go more aggressive. They just used up 1 smoke, but they have 1 more available on the Beastmaster. Sometimes the best choice is just smoke immediately after a failed one to say, hey, let's go again.
Yeah. You know, it's actually pretty funny that it seems like Game 1 really had its impact on Liquid because they're playing so scared of these smoke rotations. The fact that they used that Radiant Scan there at the top lane after MVP backed out from a tier 1, so many other teams would take that tier 1 and be like, okay, we got something. They did absolutely nothing with their time. They 5-man, they didn't get anything out of it. That's awesome. You know, and MVP, you know, other teams would back out. MVP is one of the few teams that might back out, smoke up, and go back in like that, and that's something that Liquid are rather afraid of. So that's why they're staying so clumped up at this point, trying to continue their farm. And that is one of the things, is that because their laning phase went so well, they got themselves a pretty decent gold and experience lead, and they can continue to hedge that a bit. By staying grouped up.
And they also have Yule Scepter just completed on Fada. That's all they were waiting for to smoke there. I was wondering why this stick around for such a long time, but they have that key item and they want to make something happen. Yule's not going to get the range on Forev here as it blinks away.
That's unfortunate. So Liquid's whole rotation has been scouted out, and MVP Phoenix, I'm sure, are just waiting for a bit more information. They can 5-man run at Liquid.
But this time it's Liquid that have the option the MVP had in last game. They had an Ember to split push. Now the Furin is here for Liquid instead.
Yeah.
So they don't have to stress this. They can just slowly push with Furin, get some farm, while all of MVP are just sitting back here. Nobody's farming right now.
MVP Phoenix show their 2 initiators as they push out the lane, and Liquid, not wanting to have anything to do with that, are going to play this very, very conservatively. They can keep this lane push forward and keep MVP Phoenix defending the tier 2. What they're doing is essentially buying a lot of space for Mind Control as the Furion to get some control at top lane.
I'm so amazed, by the way, by the net worth of Fuel in this game. The fact that he is top farmer in a game like this is pretty impressive on a hero like Slardar.
Yeah, Slardar is definitely not known for his great farming speed. Another jump in, another pullback, grabs Matumba Man, and with the Tornado EMP, they've actually got him locked in underneath the tier 2 tower with the swamp as well. He doesn't stand a chance in hell of being able to get away from that one. Liquid quickly abandoned him.
Yeah, just running away, trying to get out. They have the Yule Scepter, so they're pretty fast. Oh, not going to be able to get the call in time.
Not quite. Not quite.
Good place to TP out. But they lost their carry, so still pretty painful for Liquid, even though they were farming with the Furion. MVP are going to be happy about that one. And I think it's going to be the heart on Slardar here.
Yeah.
And in this game, I like it so much. They play this every single time they play Slardar almost. They go for Armlet, into Blink, into Heart. And it's a great build for Slardar.
Yeah, it gives him a ton more right-click damage, and you're also the BKB, which is normally something that we do consider talking about. It's just not as important in a game like this. Liquid have disables to go through it. They don't have an overwhelming amount of single target magic damage that Slardar needs to worry about that either. He just needs to tank up overall.
Yeah, if they had a ton of teamfights potential in Liquid that you could mitigate by buying a BKB, maybe he would go for it, but I think this is a better choice.
Yeah.
It's just altogether a different scenario.
Mind Control once again putting to good use that Shadow Blade as he tries to split push and hide in the trees. And he's buying his team more time.
He has the full Maelstrom as well, so his DPS is going to be pretty good. If he can get in behind the enemy when the initiation has gone down, Gyrocopter's in and committed, then he can get some good right clicks off. The difficulty about Nature's Prophet though, how do you right click against these heroes? There's so many stuns and disables. He needs BKB before he's going to do anything.
Look at that. The Ice Blast actually managed to run through during the smoke, and MVP managed to get a glimpse of it and hiding themselves on the high ground. They also drew up towards the Axe to make sure he didn't get cut out either. And he goes all the way back to base, wraps through mid to join the rest of his team.
Yeah, very good. And they're going to be the ones themselves now to smoke out, but sadly, directly under a ward of Liquid, so Liquid should be knowing exactly what's coming for them.
Smoke for smoke, but both going to fail, it seems.
We'll see if they want to. They look like they want to take the fights. The way they're positioning right now, they're trying to bring over the Gyrocopter. He's being seen though.
Yeah, Matama Man.
Oh boy.
He's going to be too slow to catch up, and QO, he's going to be able to hit the stun, the Ice Blast over the top, an immediate bash. Matama Man's not going to get Jack all off. And Liquid making some huge mistakes in positioning. Again, leaving Matama Man behind, whether that's Matu's fault or the whole team's fault.
I'm surprised
Either
they
way.
didn't gather up faster when they saw that smoke, because it was definitely under their vision. I don't know. So it's surprising to me, but MVP, they get the payoff.
They get the payoff, but they're still not getting the map control. Maybe they're just going to push down mid and go for this tier 2. But right now, they have both top and bottom about to be threatened. Force Staff, Forev puts himself in an awkward position, does manage to get the Battle Hunger onto Kuro.
They're looking to chase, though.
Yeah, he's going to be able to catch this one with Cold Snap. Kuro.
Kyo is going down on the mid lane, though. He's being brought down.
Oh, no, that's definitely the bigger kill. Liquid. It's all fine and well if MVP Phoenix can get the Slardar, or if Liquid can get the Slardar.
Yeah, they got the
trading off for the Beastmaster like that.
They got the cancel on his TP out. He tried to join his team, but everyone was TPing to top lane, so his TP was quite slow.
Hold up, are they going for Roshan? Ooh.
They will be.
I mean, this is definitely the favorable trade, right? If you can, you have the advantage 4 for 4.
They don't have Beast, though. This is not a super fast Roche. A ulti is up in just a few seconds. I guess they are going to be able to bring it down.
Already down to half HP.
Invoker is close. Tornado.
Tornado leads the way, gets a lot of vision. Ice Blast going to be off the marks, though. Liquid back up and right back into the pit as soon as they see that Ice Blast explosion.
They're just going to back out and give it.
Yeah.
If they landed a good Ice Blast, maybe they would take a fight there even without the Slardar and just hope for him to reinforce later. But they have to give it away. That's going to help a lot with the high ground break, because Liquid, even though they're farming a lot and they have tons of heroes that are getting stronger, I do feel that they want to utilize the Nature's Prophet and Death Prophet push. Just get that high ground damage.
Here we go. Looks like Dubu going to be spotted out by the Primal Roar. Should be able to get the kill. So
save.
a Force Staff save comes in. Now the Ice Blast turnaround. Jerix, he's going to get popped. Febby picks up the killing spree. QO, though, again caught out in the top lane. Silenced up.
Oh no, QO.
It's happening too often now. Matama Man managed to slow down the retreat of the rest of MVP Phoenix, but the Axe turnaround managed to at least take away the Aegis and stall up the push forward by Liquid
as they
try and grab some more heroes.
Great pickoff for Liquid there. Good decision making on Axe part. Doing something before he dies at least, but how do they react to this? Access buyback, Slardar does not.
Axe is going to have the buyback here and make a big play to defend this tier 3 tower if they want to be able to keep their racks alive, and I'm sure they do.
Get the speed of this push.
Silence already onto Dubu. MP looks for the opening, has to hit the right tornado. They manage to get the call onto Fada with a blade mail activated. Looks like Fada is going to be going down. A nice ice blast. It still manages to clip even through the cyclone. A tornado comes through and Fada will be chopped down. Matumba Man still pushing forward, managed to catch Febby, but can't quite finish him off. And the cold feet will actually stun him while Forev, he sees that sitting duck and he's just going to bide his time. He knows he can kite these two. He can jump in with the fresh blade mail, get the chop, go for Kuro. He's got a triple kill already. Give him the ultra. Forev, he's got the mana for it too. Kuro, he's just looking to be able to catch MP, but it's not going to happen. Forev actually just gives the kill over as MP takes it instead. MVP Phoenix hold.
Man, that was so impressive. Axe just got the perfect play off. MP made it happen as well as he set up the kill on the Death Prophet.
Yeah.
Oh, just beautiful team play. And that's where I think MVP excel as a team. The way they take fights together is just so impressive. Communication in this team is phenomenal. I would love to just be a fly on the wall in their room.
That being said, it's still a win for Liquid as they managed to take a very early melee Rax, and that is going to be hurting MVP Phoenix for the rest of the game, even if they did get this big jump up in gold and everything else. As time draws out, we'll really see the impact of having those super creeps into play. Mind Control makes the TP in. Dubu gets a very aggressive combination of ward and counter ward to try and get some ideas about Mind Control split pushing movements.
And I think important to talk about now is that QO, he got picked off twice when he was the most farmed hero. Right now he finished his heart. If he dies one more time here, it could be really crucial for Liquid, but I think they're gonna start being the aggressors instead.
When did he have the Reaver?
He had it very early.
Yeah, it was like, had to be like at latest like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And it took him another 7 to be able to finish off the heart, if not much more. QO's positioning, unfortunately, and oh, looks like they caught him. MP has found Mind Control, slowing him down with a cold snap. The EMP is going to go off as well. And they finally do catch the rat. Mind Control, no, that's not going to happen.
And he's got to take it this time. He's like, yeah, I'll dunk that.
So MVP Phoenix with this. All right, QO. You can push out mid, just be careful with it. All right. I'm just immediately, now it's like kind of just the tale of this story. Every single time I see MVP Phoenix get a pick off on one side of the map, and I'm expecting QO to start dying on the other. Not going to happen here, though. MVP Phoenix quickly group up, go for the tier 2 at top lane.
It's very uncharacteristic for him to get caught off. I mean, he's normally a player that's very hard to kill, especially when he plays his Ember and elusive heroes like this. Looks like they want to go for the push here. Not really sure about it, though. They're running it.
The next team fight is going to be looking pretty good for Liquid. They've got a BKB as well as a Blink Dagger now. BKB on Fana, of course, the Blink Dagger just recently picked up by Kuro. Those are some very significant upgrades. Is it enough, though, to actually beat MVP Phoenix in a 5-man?
I think MVP still have the stronger 5-man for fighting. It's just the AA ulti can do so much. It stops the Spirit Siphon. Oh, the rats.
Oh, they're definitely getting ratted out. They're going to lose the range racks at top lane, and the tier 3 already down. The Ice Blast is going to be able to clip one, but it's just going to be too late. The Exorcism is shredding the Raxes, and they can even leave just the Boars as well as the Necronomicons to almost finish this one up. Fana turns around, manages to get the silence in, and he's going to be target, actually gets swapped in. Dubu sacrifices his life in order to save the mid, but now Fana's going to be able to catch so much more as Febby. He's going to go down as well. Immediate buyback, and Matumba Man, 2 lanes of Rax. QO coming in from behind. Mind controls the target, looks to be able to get the call, will be able to catch him. Mind Control goes down, but Liquid still looking healthy enough to be able to fight this one if they want to. Fada leads with the Yules. Follow-up silence, will be able to get the Veil out. Tornado actually landing on Jerix. MVP Phoenix, they need to be able to catch more because they've lost 2 lanes of Rax now.
But they're in the dark. They don't see anyone here. Their ward's on the top part of the map, so they can't really catch anyone here. And MVP just getting destroyed there by that push. You have to be there and react in time. They were just too late to TP in.
Yeah.
As I said, I think that they were stronger at that point for taking a team fight, but if you're not there in time, your base is gone. Beastmaster, Death Prophet, that hurts.
And Liquid, it's kind of been the big strategy of them for the longest time has been movement. Oh, they're going to be able to find Fada here. Might just be able to pop him real quickly, too.
Yeah.
No chance
3
in
hits.
hell.
3 hits, and he has alacrity as well, so it goes so fast.
Yeah. So we are seeing how he can just shred a single hero like the big damage dealers of Death Prophet and the and the gyrocopter, and that's why it's not necessary ever for Liquid to try and take a fight. Even if they are picking up team fight items like the BKB, the Blink Dagger Initiation is Knight, they just need to focus on their movement. They've got the 2 lanes of Rax, and now they can play a very efficient style game of farming while MVP Phoenix have to constantly deal with these side lane pushes.
I actually disagree a little bit. I still think when Death Prophet is up, they should start going for more 5-manning, because that's where MVP is struggling right now.
Oh, the jump in, QO going to be the target here, the swap back out. Dougal almost managed to escape from a Tumba Man, goes for the chase still, but QO is actually going to the target. They bring him back down the cliff with the telekinesis. The first half comes through, but it's not quite enough. MVP Phoenix now look for the next one as they try and get out with the MP.
Jarek's chasing in the
running
ghost
so
form.
fast with the Ghost Block, deafening blast pushback.
MP gets himself a little bit of space. Is it going to be enough, though?
Blink
Has
from
another
Rubik.
invoke. He has a force staff in 3 seconds. Liquid went the wrong way.
Yeah, but they're still going to push now. They're going to force a Slardar buyback for sure. Furion going for the courier. He got it.
And he's got it too. Nothing on it, but still a small victory for Liquid right before their big victory, perhaps, as Liquid look to be able to even out the score in this series 1-1 with this final push uphill.
Yeah, they have the Death Prophet ulti as well. No buyback. That's the only reason they're being a little bit cautious right now. If she dies, that could be disastrous. So they're going to be respecting MVP a little bit. Not going to be able to force the buyback.
Yeah, they back away. It's fine. They can wait on Roshan. I mean, with 2 lanes of Rax, they'll always have the more information, the better movement around the map. They're going to be able to get the pressure on the side lanes to make MVP Phoenix be in bad positions so they can open up that free Aegis potentially. And they've got a decent team at doing it too, with the Necronomicons up on the Beastmaster.
I like to see Liquid just keep the pressure up and keep fighting as 5, because Slardar still does not have a BKB, and we've seen in the first series how hard it can be for a carry when all the lockdown is there. Liquid have a lot of spells.
You will. Maybe the target is they're going to try and lead things off with the telekinesis. They get the Silver Edge hit. Now the follow-up. Primal Roar stolen. They have another swap in from Dubu. He will be able to save QO as he tries to make his way back to the fountain. A rocket is pursuing him.
That's still a kill though. Liquid get what they want. Sure, killing the QO Slardar would have been bigger.
Attempt at a Sunstrike to see if Roshan is up. It is not. Another minute needed for that one. Meanwhile, Liquid will continue the pressure on mid. MVP Phoenix. There's another nice steal for Jarex. Gets the amplified damage.
That's a really good counter spell. Just putting that on Axe when he goes in, or even on the Slardar himself.
Yeah, being able to acknowledge more presence of MVP Phoenix, even with just the vision, it's going to be nice.
For sure. So just backing off. They keep a creep on Roshan at all times now. Liquid, they just want to wait up for that Aegis. As they don't have buyback on Death Prophet, they're in a very volatile spot, even if they have 2 racks in side lanes.
15-19, 33 minutes in. Liquid with a rather large lead at this point in time with 2 lanes of racks ahead. They are a decent chunk of gold up as well. They're about 9K ahead.
And MVP, they don't have the best heroes to deal with these big creeps. Sure, you can kill them off with Axe, and you can sort of hammer them down in the end with a heart on Slardar for sure. But you don't do it quickly, and these heroes would rather want to be looking for kills.
Yeah.
It's not what they're designed to do. It's not like a gyrocopter or anything of that sort.
I mean, we are already talking about the fact that it was impressive that QO has actually still maintained the top net worth, and that's in part simply because you just don't have a whole lot of creep clearing. Now, they do see that Roshan is being taken right now by Liquid, but again, it just comes down to position. You're just way too late.
Yeah, there's a Cheese on the ground as well, so Cheese over on the side of Death Prophet. Aegis gonna go, actually killed the Roshan. He got Roshan.
Oh man, so the snatch there on the gyrocopter, okay.
Febby, gotta be happy with that little bit of money.
Yeah.
Giving it to his team.
I mean, MVP Phoenix need every little bit they could possibly grab onto at this point.
They do.
Got to get those buybacks into play. It's still another 800 needed for the Slardar, but then we're talking about that BKB as well. He at least has it complete.
It looked for a second like they wanted to smoke out and go out of their base, but they just can't. The Hawk is everywhere, just scouting. There's so much pressure from the Treants. There's not an opening to smoke. I think MVP have to wait and just take their high ground fight. That's the best deal they're going to get.
Yeah, they're going to have to take a high ground fight with both the side lanes pushing in most likely. Big advantage of having those early super creeps plus the Furion's pressure as well, with both TP and his ult.
Yep.
So there's going to be, pretty much no matter what happens in this next fight, there's going to be a lot of structure damage done by Liquid onto MVP Phoenix's base.
Most definitely. And they could almost just blindly rush in and fight the base. Make sure if you get Mega Creeps as Liquid, they're going top.
Yeah, they're actually going to be able to lead
Force
things
staff.
off with the right click of mind control, but a Force Staff puts a stop to that one. Now QO pops his BKB, but the Primal Roar is the response. Now an Ice Blast is going to come in to swap out. QO is going to have to head back. Matumbaman looking to be able to slow him down, but not enough for the BKB for Rev. Instead is going to be the lucky prize here for Liquid as they jump in, find their initiation. Results in a kill on the Axe. They're going to look up next for Rev with the buyback. Managed to grab Matumbaman. Hopes to be able to bring him back into the base for one of his teammates to be able to follow that up. That's just not the case.
To the tower
ready
now.
to go. Cold Snap a little bit more. Jump in. QO managed to get a two-man stun. Finishes off Curl. Now the call. Actually managed to get both. No. That's going to be 3 down. And Liquid jump in with the rest of their course. But Matumbaman, he popped the BKB at last second. That's not going to be good. Fada is left alone. Matumbaman's just about to come back up. But the Ice Blast should be enough for them to be able to quickly finish up Fada with the
last buybacks and TP in.
Liquid, they're full on committing for this one. But they have to get out. If they lose too many heroes, this could be the turnaround. A Sprout controlling up QO, but the save for Rev! Gets the call on 2, gets the dunk on 1, and Matumbaman will end up going down to the right click for MVP Phoenix. Liquid, have they just thrown away the advantage in this game?
The tiebacks on the Furion, at least the Beastmaster ran away because he bought back as well and traveled in, but he now has to just run back to his base. MVP just needs to deal with the side lanes and then rush down mid. That was some amazing team fighting.
The night was so dark for MVP Phoenix, but now there is a glimmer of hope in this game.
Definitely.
As the buybacks are down, if they can win another fight like this, they can actually go all in, try and push down mid. There's still a tier 2 in their way, and there's still many things that are going to be stopping them from being able to outright end the game, even if they do kill someone with no buyback. But it's a start, something that MVP Phoenix with this storyline, they didn't have an opening like that before.
Definitely. It's just really, really big now. If they can get any more kill with the side of MVP, they're looking aggressively, but the Hawk is going to be there, the Boar as well. QO going to have to back. But Liquid, in team fights, they need to make sure to not stack up. They stacked up with 2 heroes for a second, ran in with a third to try and save them when they were already stunned. Axe and Slardar, they work on the same AoE, so it's very easy to chain these stuns. And then you have Evoker controlling off the team fight as well.
Yeah, you think MVP Phoenix is focused on that mid lane, but no, they have such good awareness in these team fights that they'll always see that kind of jump that they made at the top lane with QO. And just like this, that tier 2 that was supposed to be standing in the way of MVP Phoenix going for base is now gone. They take that tier 2 and back out before Liquid can try and contest it. Nor should Liquid at this point, right? They've got to slow down the game pretty heavily.
They have to. They have to at this point. And I just want to mention, MP has had such a good comeback in this game. He was so underfarmed on his Invoker. Now he's the second most farmed. He has the Octarine, the Axe, everything you really want. Only maybe missing a Blink Dagger, but he has the Force Staff for mobility.
MVP Phoenix. This could be the smoke. They have no buybacks on Liquid. They know Liquid is very likely to play kind of conservative. They're just, they still have 2 lanes of racks. They still have every reason to push this game later and wait for their buybacks to come up. MVP Phoenix have one real opportunity to catch out Liquid, and that'll be a smoke.
They haven't really done a sweep, though, with the gem. That's the only thing I'm missing for MVP right now, is that they haven't cleared these wards. Granted, one of them is in a very sneaky spot, but with Venge, you can definitely check every little potential, even with the Ice Vortex, but they're gonna smoke under the ward. Again, Liquid, they know about this one. They can set up so nicely here.
They've already done the circle. They're going to try and hit this choke point, it looks like. Not running away, but actively trying to fight MVP Phoenix. They're the lead. Initiation on it for Red, but QO, he's on the opening of the man, and he exploded! MVP Phoenix, now they're going to look for more. The swap out on Fada! That stops his CP at the last half second, and now they pursue. Amplified damage, QO, he just wants to be able to get in range of the sun. He's got it too. Dubu follow up the magic missile. Bye-bye, Fada. He pumps the Yule Scepter. That's only going to buy him a second or 2. He'll still go down. Spirit Siphon not going to be enough. 2 heroes down, no buyback, 70 seconds on the clock for the Death Prophet.
And there's even backdoor region, so trying to do some backdoor damage here, not going to be possible. Range track is going to be fine.
Damage on Jerix, yeah, the ultimate managed to help.
Whoa, not even a Sunstrike's going to finish him off. Just a straight up bash.
Will claim that kill. Look at mind control, though. He's been sitting inside this base the whole entire time. He knows that with his 2 cores down, he's got to cause some chaos. He's got to draw some attention of MVP back to their base.
He just can't, though. There's no creeps nearby. Even if he sends his summons here, this range rack is perfectly fine.
Yep, MP is just going to go back, tornadoes it, and then keeps on trucking. He's going to push out the bottom lane. They already have Slardar, QO. He's trying to push out top. They're getting that map control into play so they can set up the next team fight on Liquid's side of the map if possible.
MVP are just looking like monsters right now. This gyrocopter can never man up in a team fight. The Axe and the Slardar combination, it just hurts too much.
Very few teams have been able to come back from a 2 racks advantage like this one, especially so early on to the game as well. But MVP Phoenix are on the precipice of being able to make this game go their way, and it could tumble so quickly for Liquid, all based around whether or not those buybacks are able to come into play. 2 more minutes on the clock.
Yeah, thanks to him having the travels now on both Axe and Invoker, they can start pushing out these side lanes and deal with it, because that's the hardest part, right? Your racks on either side, it's so big spread to go and try and push it out, but they're able to do it. See a little bit of pause again.
They could have been able to close out where, you know, you've got the furthest points on the opposite corners of the map. That's obviously the hardest to be able to control and still, you know, make sure you don't get picked off. If they could have closed out these lanes all the way into the Radiant side base, they could have hopefully been able to 5-man from there and keep the lanes always pushed in, corralled in. But they didn't quite make it in time, as now Liquid have their opportunity to be able to respond, and the Furion is just naturally going to be able to outpush you in one way or another now. So.
Yeah, sooner or later, that's the threat, though, that MVP are facing, that sooner or later, their racks will fall. If Liquid make more pushes, the buildings cannot really stand against the Death Prophet and Beastmaster army going in. That's why they're going mid.
Oh, the call. Grab leads things off. They have the cold snap from the top. They're going to be able to finish him off. Oh, no. Not even a Primal Roar goes down. Another BKB charge as Matumba Man wants to make sure there's no chance that he actually gets that TP canceled. Jerix will stop the TP back as he's desperately trying to keep this lane pushed forward. He may still be caught, though. 5 seconds till the Blink Dagger's up, and MP, he's already here. He needs the cold snap. Got it. Jerix is done for. He steals the cold snap, will telekinesis around, but the Blink Dagger will just not be up in time.
And they're looking for bottom as well. Furin gonna be able to get out, though. He invests before Slardar got close enough.
TP's away.
This is the way MVP need to bring it back, though. Fighting a lot outside their base, looking to take pickoffs on Liquid anytime they show up.
Yeah. You could say in some ways that that was fair by Jerix of what he was doing, because he did force so many heroes of MVP back that they weren't able to take advantage that they just picked off a Beastmaster like that.
I think he had to.
Yeah.
Because Beastmaster was dead for 80 seconds. That was a dieback duration. So he's going to respawn before the Beastmaster would be up anyway, and he kept the enemy from going high ground against you. So it's an understandable play.
All right, so our buybacks are coming up for Liquid. They don't have it in gold, but just for another 100 for the Gyrocopter. Both the Furion as well as the Beastmasters are taking off of cooldown now.
Yep, no one has cooldown on buyback right now. It's only down to the money.
Yeah, so Liquid have kind of weathered that storm. The problem is that MVP Phoenix are still actively looking for another fight. If they can force another round of buybacks, then all of a sudden the game is actually in their control. They don't even necessarily need to worry about killing a hero without buyback. They can just force those.
They see Kuro.
Oh, that's going to be big.
They found Kuro. Are going to be able to pop him almost immediately, and there's no response from Liquid.
Top lane, they tried to catch something, but it just wasn't fast enough.
Yeah, this is so hard to deal with. Slardar has such a confidence right now. QO knows that he cannot really be stopped. When he has his BKB, who's going to stop him? There's no Hex. There's nothing like this to control him. There's only the Beastmaster Roar, but hey, if you're jumping on the Beastmaster, problem solved.
Kuro's positioning.
Oh boy, this is going to be such a fast Roche as well. The alacrity on Slardar.
And they still have some pretty good control. They're pushing out the bottom lane as well as mid. It's only top that's being pushed down. That's because Liquid are committing so many heroes for it. But MVP will gladly take that momentary pause in the game to try and push out that top lane and get the control back into their hands again in exchange for an Aegis.
I love that MVP didn't panic when they got Rax on either side. They don't have a tier 3 tower mid. They played very controlled Dota. Yes, it's chaotic in the sense that they're fighting all the time, but they're not just throwing themselves at the enemy base hoping to even out the Rax score. They're just looking at like, hey, we can deal with this.
If any team is able to clear through the fog of panic and being behind like this, it's going to be MVP Phoenix. Who are always looking at how to take that next win, how to win win that team fight and push that objective. It's always MVP Phoenix who manages to find, even against the biggest disadvantages, the openings to be able to have a chance in a team fight.
I mean, MVP versus Mineski in the group stage, they were back mega creeps and they brought that game back. So you can never count out MVP. It's just such a resilient team. Keep fighting to the bitter end. And right now, they're actually in a pretty good control. Looking at the graphs as well, it's just gone their way for the last 15 minutes.
A 15,000 gold swing like that over the last 10 minutes.
That is very big.
Experience.
And top, they're going to try and be the aggressors now. Liquid.
Is it finally MVP Phoenix who are going to be caught out for once? It's been so long since we've seen something like this, but it looks like they do have a single target pickup. They're actually going to have a boot to travel in. Are they going to complete that one? QO immediately blinks himself away, realizes by myself, there's no way I can take that fight. My axe is already dead, so he gets out. MVP Phoenix lose their hero. They're going to be losing some time here. Liquid aren't necessarily going to try and pressure from here. It would be nice to force the buyback, but it is a bit dangerous around that Aegis.
That's the thing. It's 110 seconds on Axe, and you want to force something to happen, but I think if they push, MVP could possibly even fight without buyback. So it's just so dangerous, especially as Gyrocopter just back at base. He doesn't have travels.
Whoa, look at this. QO. If he finds a pick off here, this evens up the game and they don't even have to worry about that buyback.
The big fish, he has Venge to help him as well, but they're not going to go for it.
Not quite yet. Looks like Matumba Man. His senses were just right. Didn't poke his head out too far in that mid lane. Otherwise, it would have got chopped off by the Slardar. So.
The clock is ticking and Axe is going to respawn here. It doesn't look like Liquid are brave enough to do anything about it. If they had travels on Matumba, maybe they could do something aggressively, but it's just not very farmed in this game. It's been a very tough life to be a Gyrocopter.
16,000 net worth. It's actually Mind Control who's holding the largest share here for Liquid, as he's got another 3,600 gold in the bank right now. He only has 1,700 extra, and so he's not going to be looking at a new item anytime soon.
And this can be the downside, drafting so greedily as Liquid did. You pick a jungle Beastmaster as your support. That's going to take a lot of possible form from your carry and put it into a support position. So you could have a...
QO, did he find the opening? He managed to grip Matumba Man, but immediately the telekinesis goes down. Yule Scepter and Liquid will use that little bit of space to retreat with the sprint. He keeps on coming forward. He wants to be able to force this fight. Because Liquid, if they have to turn and kill him, it'll stall their retreat long enough.
Is he backing?
Looks like it. The rest of his team, they're just too far away. He's only got the Vengeful Spear behind him.
Yeah, there's nothing to TP in on. That's the big issue. If they had just one creep down there so Invoker could reinforce, but he's going to have to back off.
And they, QO points to the lanes. Draws it out, guys. Got to get those lanes pushed out. All three of them. So they're going to try for it now, not worrying it necessarily about kills. Q out. Actually, he's going to go back into the jungle.
Here, spots out Kuro. Gets the stun, backs away. Doesn't want to risk it. Now the boots of travel onto QO. Now they can make that kind of play, but already to blink away. Dodging the Ice Blast, but Fred is able to catch up. The Chivas goes down, Primal Roar for the stun. They manage to catch Kuro. Should be able to stun him up. Mike don't protect him with the Sprout. Now the force that forward. QO gets the kill, but at what a cost. He's already down to half HP. And BKB about to run out. He wants to use this Aegis, and he will oblige Liquid. Take him out. Fada in the positioning. They sprout out MP, blocking QO's retreat as well. He can't go anywhere. He's stuck inside. The swap goes down, but Dubu, or staffed away, will be able to survive, but it's MP who gets caught by the telekinesis. Is trying to run himself away with Ghost Walk and will be able to get some distance, but Kuro, he jumps forward, catches Dubu, swap back. QO is going to be hit by that one. Nice steal from Jarex, straight into the homing missile. QO now has to man fight up against Matumba Man, but doesn't have a prayer with 4 others surrounding Matu, making sure they win it.
Yeah, double buyback coming out immediately. They don't have a buyback on Axe. That could punish them. I think Liquid should go here. Because this game, it's not going well for them if they just keep playing it slowly. They just got off a massive win.
Axe is 90 gold away. They might assume that Axe actually does have a buyback.
They're actually playing it. They're actually playing it chill. And what set me off in that team fight, by the way, Invoker. If you look at his skill build right now, he could have had the Around the World Deafening Blast in that team fight. But he skilled up max 2 Wex before putting 1 extra point in Quas. I think that was detrimental. Refresher Invoker with the Around the World Deafening Blast, I think they could have taken that fight.
Yeah, let's not forget that mind control sprouts off the charts there in that fight.
They were good. Also, just the getaway from Kuro. He delayed the Axe initiation so much, he created enough distance that Axe had committed his blink and Force Staff and then got roared. So instead of MVP just getting the jump, they had to chase and then get counter-initiated on.
MVP Phoenix are in an awkward position now. Liquid are the ones who can look for that next fight, and they still have the two lanes of Rax advantage. They can look for that one fight, get the kill needed to be able to either force some buybacks and have a big advantage for the next 5 minutes, or even find a hero that doesn't have buyback. And there are a couple of them on MVP.
Oh, Jerax might get jumped here.
Yeah, he's going to be able to spot him out. Ice Blast over the top. Is he going to be able to go straight for Fada, actually, as they know Jerax is definitely dead. Tries to make what do, but it's not going to happen. Matumba Man now pops BKB, fights up against Farev. Turn around, amp damage. QO knows he can't take that fight. They have the Force Staff, swap back out. Dupa Miner saved the ancient apparition, but it's QO who's more in trouble. Controlled by the Primal Roar, but it's not enough. They can't finish him off. Farev, half HP, trying to challenge Liquid, realizes that's not a good idea. And the cold feet. Oh, they're actually going to try and go back into this one. Are you serious?
Yeah, Slaughter goes in.
He sees Kuro, wants to be able to pop him real quickly. Faraz's going to be able to get the call on the two. The Shameless, chop one, goes for Fada, but the Yule Scepter save. Faraz, he might be able to live through this. Oh my God, Fada, he's going to go down. The Ice Blast over the top, and Liquid, they crumble like paper and have to retreat behind the base. MP, he looks for that extra kill, but can't find it. Last buybacks this time around on the Liquid side.
Just need to get the creep wave going as well. Gonna TP back, reset their HP, buyback coming out. Oh, actually, he sees him.
What is this? MP.
He's going to be caught here. Silence up, Force Staff. He's speedy. Matu.
He's a hard man to catch. I think no way to catch the Invoker here.
Not going to be able to get the disables on him.
Man, MVP just showing such strength and going in. They're so fearless.
Absolutely.
Slaughter did not have buyback. He just goes in, no HP. He lives just barely because of a glimmer from Febby.
Half HP on all of their heroes, and they choose to go back in against a Death Prophet with full HP and Exorcism out.
Yeah. If that doesn't show some cojones, I don't know what does, but MVP Phoenix, man.
Oh, they've been scouted. This word, QO, they've seen him.
QO gonna have to make a fast blink. He's actually gonna try and jump on Amatu, forces the BKB. Now has to retreat, sprint on cooldown for 30 seconds, and now he's gonna be telekinesis up into the homing missile. Force to pop his BKB, now gets the sprint. Boots of travel, level 2, gets the call on a Jerax. Seconds are gonna be the one, but they've already managed to kill the ancient apparition. Matu goes down as well. He's down for 90.
Oh man, they only get the AA there. I think maybe the Fury should have fought with their team. They need to bring many people to shut down this Slaughter.
Top lane is pushing out. MVP Phoenix may not be able to take advantage of this 70-second timer.
Man, the Treants just delaying the push, doing everything they can to keep MVP away from their base. Liquid, they're starting to get scared.
They absolutely should be, because MVP Phoenix are playing this calm, cool, and collected. They're not trying to rush things too much. They know they've got a 5-minute window where both Nature's Prophet, Death Prophet, and Gyrocopter do not have buyback. All they have to do, control the lanes, get this all pushed in.
Yeah.
And MVP Phoenix can finally take that one fight uphill that they've been looking for all game long. Farev tries to jump the goose, doesn't manage to get it, and has to jump himself away. But those are the opportunities MVP can look for fearlessly while there's still 30 seconds left for the Gyrocopter to come back.
Yeah, just pushing this high ground. There's not that much high ground defense on the side of Liquid. How are they going to hold them off here?
Well, they're going to wait for Jerax here to start. He's had some amazing steals, but he's going to have to do something so much better.
The refresher is off cooldown on Invoker. Big spells incoming.
QO continuing to beat on this tier 3 tower with the alacrity and the armlet. He's going crazy here on the barracks. And we'll be able to take melee at top, or excuse me, at mid, tier 3 at both mid and bottom. That's a healthy chunk of gold going into MVP's coffers, as well as getting them finally a lane that is actually in their advantage. The mid lane is always going to push out to their favor now.
Such a weight off their shoulder, just not having to always go and push out that lane. And now getting Roshan again, dies really quickly. They're coming with a smoke here, Liquid. Want to take a fight, but they're just not there in time.
Amp damage just makes it too easy. The tornado's going to come through as well, stopping Liquid's jump.
And now QO with the Aegis is going in.
Whoa, the smoke. QO looks for it, does get silenced up. Doesn't pop his BKB just yet.
Will Scepter goes down. And now QO has to blink for him, but doesn't get it. The Boar, as well as the homing missile, will stop him. MP, he's going to have to be the one catching the heroes, but they choose not to. Both top and bottom are pushing in, and that's the thing. MVP Phoenix, they seem to always make sure that the bottom and top lane do not push out, so much so that they lose tier 4 towers. They've only lost one of them so far. Considering how long they've had to battle up against this disadvantage, they've managed to keep just the wherewithal of always knowing, guys, we can't go too crazy right now, have to defend base.
Yeah, they're just respecting one more mistake could mean that they get mega creeped, and they don't deal with that very well at all. So good heads up plays here, just backing and defending. But again, it looks like Liquid, they're losing purpose right now. They don't really know where to go. Their smokes are being countered. It's just difficult to say what they should be doing in this position. They don't have enough farm on Gyrocopter to really have a strong front line.
We're getting to the point in the game where MVP Phoenix have won so many fights in a row and have actually taken some objectives for themselves that they have enough extra gold they can start getting their next round of items. So we just saw it's actually from Mind Control. He managed to complete up a whole entire Bloodthorn, but that's because he doesn't have buyback anyway. MVP's heroes, you've got a Heart about to be complete for Varev and still have buyback. You've got 5K on QO, so he can start looking at that next item as well.
And he has Moonshard already.
And MP, I think, is going to be completing Scythe of Vice with that ultimate orb. Or no, Lincoln's actually up against, Primal Roar, that makes sense.
And Lincoln's pretty nice spell actually, or a nice thing to have for him. He can refresh that as well in the team fight.
That's a good point.
So just lead by putting it onto QO maybe when he dives in aggressively, as he always does. Or maybe even onto the Axe, who seems to be getting roared a lot in these fights. But yeah, that's going to be a great item defensively. And it looks like MVP, they're actually going for the high ground pressure now.
And Liquid have to find an opening at this point. They just can't let MVP Phoenix march all the lanes up to their high ground and play defense. I think they actually need to be able to looking for some sort of pickoff, whether it's at mid, maybe trying to force a very early fight at top lane before MVP can make those rotations. I'm not sure what it is, but Liquid are the ones now who have to find the opening.
It's so hard though, with these travels on every single one almost on MVP. All the cores have travels. You just can't, and here they are, on your doorstep.
I think Slardar isn't a high ground pusher. We'll just wait till you see when he's got this much strength and Alacrity build on him. Tier 3 already going down. Liquid trying to see something, some way to be able to stop this push without fully committing, but it's just not going to happen. Another Rax will end up falling here. Liquid trying to slow him down, pops the Shivas, actually does hit QO, but the amp damage on Fada actually slows him down. Febby doesn't want to get hit by that ultimate and will be swapped out once again by Dubu.
And they could TP back here. Look at Beastmaster, he's been running for 20 seconds away from
they've got him. They've got him locked in, that's for sure. Kuro
down for 80 seconds now, right after MVP Phoenix just pushed in a wave and took a melee Rax.
He felt they had to go for something mid, but this is the thing. If you're going to play a greedy Beastmaster support, you're practically a core. If you die like this, it's really hurting your team.
MVP Phoenix are alleviating all the pressure that they felt for a straight 30 minutes from the Rax advantage that Liquid had.
I mean, look at the net worth. MP, 34,000. They have a 28,000 now on Slardar. They're just in a great spot to take this game. And it looks like they're doing it slowly and systematically against Liquid.
We're rapidly approaching here our hour marker as Febby is waiting inside the base to pick up his Axe. He's actually going to throw down the Ice Blast straight through the middle lane. Perhaps just trying to get a bit of information about whether or not Liquid are actually inside their base.
Man, this Axe is looking like such a monster right now.
Just imagine if that was someone like Jerix. Gets hit by Ice Blast and Sunstrike at the same time. With Axe on Ancient Apparition and the Axe on MP as well, I think he just straight up explodes.
He would die. There's so much damage. You also keep in mind that the Invoker, he has so much int at this point that he has 12% damage increase on all his spells. Just from that.
Yeah, that's such like pure damage. Just going to rip through someone like the Rubik.
Oh, definitely.
supposed to be able to defend against some of the magic damage. Not the case here. Mind Control just searching for more and more farms, spending time inside the dire jungle. He's going to have to pop his head out, though, to stop a top lane push or something here.
Look at Dubo just sneaking, placing down 2 wards. He knows vision is everything. This fight.
Oh, he sees a swap. Oh, he managed to get the swap on a Matumba Man. They get the call to follow up, and Matumba Man, he just ends up dying just like that. He has a buyback here, and he's going to wait for his opportunity. Throws it down now. Melee Rax is up. QO going to pop his BKB. Turns around. Doesn't actually look to kill Fada. Now the Fada's a bit separated. They'll go for him now, but the swap out from Jarex. What a good save. And managed to get the force staff away from QO as well. Now Fada pops the Exorcism, but they have to stop MVP Phoenix's retreat. They have to actually be able to fight this and win this fight. Looks like they're going to be able to get it for Rev. MP runs himself away. Looks like
chasing.
MVP Phoenix as a whole are now going to turn around. They have the buyback. Mind Control's the target. Jumps in with the Shivas as well. They've caught Matumba Man. Oh boy, Matu. He explodes with a Sunstrike and a chopper for Rev. Ice Blast hits on and blows up one. They have the Yule Scepter there, but it's not going to be enough. Rev on the front lines will end up going down to Mind Control, but they have to manage to take out the Death Prophet. The buyback goes out. Range Rax, next target for MVP Phoenix. Jared jumps in, tries to stop that linkage. They will open up the Bloodthorn. That's going to be enough to actually kill MP. Barely. Now Febby. Oh, barely managed to live through that one. QO also a sliver of HP.
So close to being brought down. The Fury being in behind them as well. He's looking
they're
for
going
those
to try and
awakening
sandwich
heroes.
this one. They're going to try and sandwich these heroes while they're still low, but the heart, it's racking in for QO. He's already at half HP.
If they could get the Invoker.
Swap in, gonna be able to catch him. BKB aren't already activated. Fada goes for the Ancient Apparition, will be able to get him another swap out from Jarex. Draws some time with the Ghost Scepter and bides. Telekinesis is gonna be able to hit on QO. Maybe that disable actually wins it for Mind Control. He's manning up with the Bloodthorn. He gets the kill. Deafening Blast gonna be too late. Mind Control dies, but maybe with the buyback. Liquid, Jarex, he's just trying to buy time. He needs 5 more seconds until Beastmaster's up. 35 for Matu. That's not going to be enough. MVP, they see their opening. They see they're going to be able to just straight up take Megas and end this game.
MVP, are they doing it finally after their long struggle? Going for this.
Unbelievable. MVP Phoenix up against 2-lane Rax advantage. Up against a Fury off that.
Beastmaster
he tries to go for it. Oh, don't tell me. It's going to be a base race, ladies and gentlemen. Kuro trying to finish off that pillar. Not going to be fast enough. MP gets a TP back. Forced to throw out the Primal Roar, but Kuro, in the end, still has to retreat. And that now means Tier 4 down. MVP Phoenix. Afraid of some buybacks. Gyrocopter is about to come back up. Maybe Kuro just bought the time required for MVP Phoenix to be forced into retreat.
That one little play by Kuro to TP top there was so important. They would have lost the game if he did not do this. It's still a very dangerous position though. 68 seconds of Furion, both the Prophets being dead.
Kuro looks for some vision, but he's going to go back to base here.
Man, MVP do not want to stop. They're like, okay, let's go now. When we know buybacks are down, there's not going to be anyone coming back. If we kill them once, they're going to be gone.
Yeah, 40 seconds still left on the Death Prophet. MVP Phoenix have now managed to force this. They're going to try and go for some sort of Hawk TP in play, perhaps, and go for another base race.
The creeps are just too far away from the base, though. They have to defend this one.
Yeah, I think it's just going to be too much. They're going to be able to get the call on the Liquid. But Man, he's going to be blown up once again. He's done for all the way into the throne. Doesn't matter. Burning Bush be damned. Pharrell takes it all. And MVP Phoenix looked for those kills. Now turn back to Tier 4's Alacrity up. And there it goes. They're taking it. The throne's going to explode just like that. MVP Phoenix, they're taking the very last fight, evening up the kills, and they end it. They take it. 2-lane Rax advantage with the Nature's Prophet on Liquid, and MVP Phoenix still come through. The miracle in Manila.
2-0, looking great in the group stage, and just coming back here. Liquid said they were confident against them. Can you ever be confident going up against MVP?
Unbelievable.
On a land?
MVP Phoenix at lands always show up, but I'm not sure if anyone thought they would show up like this.
Oh, beautiful. They just get to play what they like as well. They play so good with the Slardar. They have MP's Invoker. It's just beautiful to watch. And I have to give credit to Liquid as well. They played so well in some of these fights, but they just didn't have enough tools to deal with them in the end.
In the beginning of the game, they were controlling it so damn well, but it just did not seem to be enough as they managed to fumble it. And now Liquid I mean, they're going to be looking pretty dark. As I know the ideas of them being perhaps a tournament favorite was messing with them, and now they've just been knocked down like this. That's really got to hit them straight in the heart right there.
Yeah, it's definitely hard for them. And after a group stage where, as the panel pointed out, everyone took a game off them, and now getting this series down in lower bracket immediately. MVP though, they're going to be feeling great.
Only wrapping up steam. How far can MVP Phoenix go in this upper bracket? That's something our analysts will have to break down.
Thanks very much, Capitalist. The wag of the commentators. What a game to start things off. We only had to wait 2 games for an absolutely monumental game between MVP and Liquid. MVP coming through 2-0. Let's get the reactions from our panel members now.
I forgot everything I was gonna say. I don't know.
Fogg's lost it. He's completely gone into the mind. He has no idea what just happened.
I think I'm deaf as well from Charlie screaming his head off in this game. But
that was insane. That was beyond impressive. For them to be down 2 racks that entire way and still play hyper aggressive, still play in your face, the mental fortitude, the confidence, I don't know what to say.
Did you see them at the end as well? It wasn't even like they were like, yeah, all right.
I was more excited than they were.
I think we all were. We were definitely jumping up more and down. Purge, what do you make of it?
Every fight was MVP going in when Liquid didn't necessarily expect it. It's like, oh, we got 2 kills. They're definitely not going to go in. And then they'd hop back in again, and they'd possibly get a kill on a core, and everything changes again. The fight resets. There were so many super long battles that constantly happen. They defended on 2 racks for so long. Like, how many times did we say the game is over during the course of that game?
I also want to point out, halfway through that game, we all agreed that Fata was having the game of his life and he was definitely the MVP.
Yeah, the solo kill on MP mid, the very first one, that's the one that set the tone for Liquid really steamrolling that game in the early mid game, where they kept on trying to gank the Death Prophet, but he was too big off that lane domination, and that's what gave Liquid the early game advantage. But 4F, he's my MVP for
absolutely
this game.
the MVP.
Like that fight at MVP's top racks, where the racks was already gone, and what they do perfectly, and they did this so many fights. Kyo walks forward, he gets sprouted, he's the focus, and then Frev always goes on the back line, and even if it's just one hero, it sets up the kill on that person with the Ice Blast. They did that consistently, and they did it so fast, it wasn't like the typical bait stuff that happens. Smoke 4, sit behind 1, oh, that's obvious. They did it every fight, it takes them seconds to set up, they're just so practiced at it.
And he does it so many times in one fight. How many times did he get off a dunk? How many times did he get off a call? It was just...
He did like carry level damage on Axe.
He didn't even, like, there was a point where he was doing that with a 4-staff, blink, and a blade mill. That's it.
Yeah,
That's
it was incredible.
Yeah, Fox still can't talk.
I don't know.
He still can't say anything.
It was little things that ended up winning it for them, but it was just incredible performance from all of them. Like prolonging the fights. We were like, oh, they can't fight into Death Prophet. And then 2 of them die, and we're like, yeah, they still can't fight. And then Death Prophet Outlook is about to tick out, and QO armlet toggles, goes back in. Beautiful swap comes out from Dubu. Just everybody just seemed to be on the same page. They had to have had like, ridiculous communication in there.
Their reaction times consistently, every single fight was above pro level, above typical pro level. Every time the swap was perfectly timed.
All right, well, let's take a look at some of the highlights as well, because there were some fabulous highlights in the middle of this. For both teams in many ways. Certainly earlier on, Liquid had much better at the early game, but these team fights from MVP were just so well coordinated.
This was a point in the game there where Liquid was pretty happy. They had 4 very farmed heroes. They were playing their game unlike the previous game. They were getting advantage. They were moving around the map. And that didn't really slow down any time before Rax's. Like, they were getting use of Roar and things like that. The kills were fairly even, but Liquid's ability to take Rax's was a bit better.
I think that shot on Matumba Man, where I think that was maybe the 3rd time that he got picked off, that really tells the story of this game, where he constantly got picked off. But it was in, like, weird positions. I'm not even going to say it was... He just didn't expect it. We didn't expect it. Like, MVP just constantly predicted where their Liquid heroes were going to be, and they just went on them. It's like, you can see he's getting super frustrated because he's getting caught out time and time and again, and it's delaying Liquid's ability to take that last set of racks.
Wow, that fight was crazy.
Game-winning blade mail.
It actually did so much damage, yeah. Rocket Barrage, Exorcism, they can't stop the damage in a lot of cases. And this is the fight. Frev got 4 kills, I believe.
Yeah, he gets a triple, and I think MP gets the last hit here, but yeah.
They split the fight. The A survived at 70 HP, which means that the cores going on MVP's heroes got them nothing, whereas MVP going on Liquid's cores got them a kill on Fada. It was such a big fight. Like, consistently, every fight, they went at least even.
This is the big one that we were talking about.
That alacrity, that was everything, because I thought they had lost here. And then all of a sudden, he just jumps in, gets a double bash on a Beastmaster, kills him.
I think we get 2 buybacks here from the Beastmaster and the Furion. Farev gets a huge call in the back in a couple seconds. Yeah, he almost dies, 4 steps out of the Sprout. They re-engage the fight again. This is exactly what the whole story of the game was, basically. Just prolonged fights. Liquid tries to go back in, and here comes Farev's call. Yeah.
Game almost ended right there with QO dying. But that call saved everything. QO lives, Farev lives. They get 2 kills on cores. That was so much. That stopped the momentum right there.
And Febby had 32 assists again.
He played amazing.
I think he has 30 assists every single game or something.
And you know what was also amazing? Those Glimmer Capes on QO. QO was so close to dying so many times, barely gets out with the Glimmer Cape. It's just the teamwork, the trust, the little things in each team fight add up to.
This is the best fight for Liquid here. A little bit of vision problem led to them supporting Crow long enough, and they took a good fight here.
Yeah, this is another point in the game where we're like, oh, it's over.
Yeah,
I think we said it's over like 40 times over watching
they're finally going to get the racks. Finally. There was Aegis there. QO ends up getting killed. No?
I think this was one of many Houdini escapades.
Even MP got away there. He looks so dead.
Big swap there. But yeah.
Okay, they got benched at least.
The fights are just like absurd though. Like, look how long these fights go. This was like 45 seconds. It's still going on. Not even.
And they could have pushed mid during this whole thing, or maybe Nature's Prophet could have gone mid, depending on TP cooldown, things like that.
Yeah, and Charlie actually made a good point too about the pushing thing, but he also made a really good point about the boots of travel too. We saw in one of these situations, there's no creep for them to come in on, but the Axe was just able to port it on QO, and this was one of the big fights where I think we saw like 2 people die and they just keep re-engaging, and Liquid definitely did not expect it.
Look at that. QO jumps in, he's half HP, the DP ult is still going off, but he just
look at the blade mail.
His team to follow up.
Yeah, it's actually insane.
Lives again. Yeah. Armlet toggles back up. Gets ready to go back in. Yeah. Just.
And MP's just playing flawlessly as well. He's definitely one of the best invokers in the world. He's consistently been good on the hero.
It's crazy that we're giving Farev the MVP because all of them played it just so damn well.
Yeah, they actually all did. But Farev, man, some of those little fights and the initiations and the kills that he got from it, hard not to look at those numbers and say like, yeah, you won your team the game here.
Yep.
I'm honestly speechless.
I've been speechless.
It's not like the most mind-blowing upset ever, but it's the fact that it's an upset and MVP played like they're the best team here.
Yeah, their team fight coordination was just completely on point. It was almost impeccable.
They always get heroes away, like just barely.
Look how low everybody is. They're just like, all right, guys, let's just keep dancing around. All right, Farev's back. All right, run back in. Blade Mail again, basically killing 2 heroes here.
I think this was the one where they managed to get out. I think there were 3 players actually less than 100 health. 1 died, the other 2 got away.
I really want to see how much damage Blade Mail alone this game reflected, because it's probably in like 10,000s or something, like some absurd region.
Yeah. I'm sure that was the most valuable Blade Mail ever. Even mind control, throwing lightning around, it's bouncing around. He's doing himself damage there. They almost won this fight if they would have killed.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the beautiful,
this is the
4-staff, the Glimmer Capes. Like, look at this teamwork.
They got one of the 3 that were really long.
Like, if those 2 heroes died, they might be able to follow up, clear everyone 5, force buybacks, and or take a Rax mid and end the game. Like, there were so many clutch fights.
I guess that's going to happen in a 70-minute game like that, right?
Yeah.
But that was best game of the tournament so far.
Absolutely.
Probably.
Yeah, by a long way. It's going to take a lot to kind of beat that kind of.
That one, and I think the Navi DC game, right? Because we've had those 2 are pretty high.
Good game as well.
What about the other game Phoenix played where they won against Mega Creeps?
Yeah,
like,
MVP just likes to give us some good games.
They do. They just want to be entertainers, which we love on here. I want to bring up a couple of pieces. Predictions, boys.
Yeah, we suck.
I'm 0 for 3.
Predictions.
I'm 0 for 3, I'll say.
You are. I think I'm 0 for 3. You are 2 for 3.
I'm 2 for 3?
2 for 3, so is full.
No, that's not true.
No,
you lost 2 Navi games.
I think I'm 2 for 4. I think I'm 2 for 4.
No, I trust Ball.
I'm getting it from Nox.
I'll take that.
All right, he's wrong.
I'll take 2 for 3.
His stats definitely lie.
I'll take 2 for 3.
It's definitely not. All right, he was literally on the panel with me where I went 0-2. He also went 0-2.
Stats don't lie.
Yeah.
Stats don't lie.
I think Nahaz.
I'm Nahaz.
Or Knoxville needs a new job.
Yeah, young Nahaz.
Young Nahaz.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So that's the predictions. Also, but just in defence of Charlie a little bit, he's the only one. Actually, he's the one of the analysts, of all of the analysts, 20-odd people that we've got in our team, that had MVP highest finisher.
What did you place him at? I put him at 6th.
I think I put him at 2 or 3.
It was 2.
Oh, wow.
It was 2. I don't remember. Like I said, I wrote these just to get Knox to stop.
So we got 4 out of 8.
Did you just pick 16 teams out and just go, oh, just any order?
I don't know. I didn't know that these were going to be like public or whatever. I thought this was just like Knox's own internal thing.
We explained it. What are you on about? We explained all of that.
Typical Charlie.
I don't think he was in the
we
room.
explained all that. One other question is, let's look back to the group stage and MVP's performance. They came through in second. How good does that make LGD look now? Because they've destroyed MVP.
No.
Come on, Charlie, get on the train.
Okay, look,
get on the train.
When LGD beat MVP, the first game was MVP putting QO on a mid-Phantom Assassin. Come on, that's like... Can you really count that game? That hero is awful.
They won it.
That hero's awful. It's sure, you can
bad.
count that game, but it's not indicative of
Play
how...
with me here, Fog.
It's not indicative of how MVP can play and how good they are.
Okay.
And then the second game... Credits to LGD though. It
Played
was
off
like
the hook.
It was an incredible game. It was super close. MVP was ahead, but I think they weren't prepared for the Tinker high ground defense. That's how LGD won. They just defended with Tinker for like It was really impressive, and LGD is a great team.
Liquid could have done the same here.
Well, the difference, it was actually almost exactly the same drafts. That game that you're talking about is this one. The difference is that Tinker shoots 4 missiles, which do like 300 damage, and the laser does tons of pure damage, and it hits 5 people. They can't output the same level of damage of the Death Prophet. It's not even close to the same, and not safely either.
Okay.
That's why they lost that game.
All right, we have an interview now with one of our Korean overlords who's with Sir Action Slacks.
All right, I'm here with QO. Now, they did a pretty good job. I mean, they beat Liquid. You guys got to give it up. Come on, boys. One more time. Let's hear it for MVP. There we go. All right, man. Now, after Liquid beat you guys in Shanghai, you said, and I quote, 2 things. You had to increase your hero pool and diversify your draft. Is that what we saw here today?
Yeah, that might be the reason as well, but I think the main reason is like we won like 2 tournaments recently, and then we get some confidence. I think that's the biggest reason.
All right, so confidence killed the cat. That sounds good to me. Now, second question for you. Let's talk about Ricky. You guys played him in game 1. He did really well. Is he going to start to become a thing here in Manila? Is he going to be a bannable hero?
I never expected that Ricky and Leech is going to be used in same game, but yeah, I think it's really good heroes if you like have a plan.
And it certainly looked like you guys had a plan. You beat them after all, so good work there. All right, now, this is the most requested question I have for MVP. I don't know why, but the people want to know. You guys are South Korean. Do you listen to K-pop music?
Some guys, well, like, many of my team members, like, show me the money. Like, it's a rap program, but, yeah, so if it's K-pop, then it might be.
Any girls' generation?
When I was young.
Oh, yeah. GG, baby, baby. We got it. All right. Last but not least, yesterday you said, and I quote again, if we beat Team Liquid, we are going to win the entire thing. You beat Team Liquid, so... you're going to win the entire thing, right?
Yeah, sure. Like, why not?
All right, you heard it here, folks. All right, there you go, folks. There it is. All right, well, thank you so much for your time. Go back up there. Your team is celebrating. Pound it out, and we'll send it right back to the panel. Thanks for watching the Manila Major.
Thank you very much. Sir Action Slacks there on the main stage. Good to see him back in there as well. Great questions. Great answers from QO as well. I don't know about the K-pop, though. Maybe when he was younger. Boys, we're going to wrap things up on the opening match. How do you summarize MVP's victory, Fog?
They just look godly, honestly. Their team fight is pretty much impeccable at this point. I would be really scared if I was any of the other teams looking at this game coming into the future.
I've spoken to you a lot over the last 4 or 5 days. I've never seen you silenced so easily like that. I was blown away by how they silenced you.
Like how Charlie was saying, their presence of mind, the way that they took those fights, even though like 2 people were dead, they were constantly just re-engaging and just, it was a magic show.
The thing about the way that they played that is you can't necessarily prepare for it. There isn't downtime. It's always uptime. So if you're not thinking as rapidly as they are, and you're not using your force stats and skills as fast as they are, they're going to beat you in fights. And that is really terrifying, that you have less control over your game.
Yeah. Charlie, final thoughts?
I can't even like pin this down to strategy, drafts, whatever. This is just, they outplayed them. pure reaction time,
And isn't
coordination.
that the most surprising thing that we found out of that match?
Thank God there's only one Korean team in this tournament, right?
Yep. I love it. Charlie is fully on board the Korean hype train. We love it. We do have a couple of social media questions. We have had, obviously these questions have been coming in throughout the entire tournament. If you want to do that, at PGL Esports on Twitter. This one, which gives a greater draft advantage, a surprise first pick or a surprise last pick? I think that's an easy question, isn't it?
Last pick for sure.
Yeah, it has to be last pick.
Surprise first pick, you can always deal with that. You have five picks to deal with that. Last pick, who knows?
Yeah. But at the same time, too, it kind of messes with your mentality, you could say. So
it does mess with your draft potentially, because then you're always chasing.
Yeah, I would agree that the surprise last pick definitely is, but the surprise first pick can definitely get into people's heads, and it's just like, oh, wait, we have to fully adjust everything, and maybe you over-adjust.
Okay. Purge?
Depends how vulnerable they are to adjusting their draft to their opponent's strat, rather than just saying, okay, that's fine, they have that, let's do what we do. We're going to know approximately what it's doing, but we're going to focus on what we do. Setting up our ganks on time, taking towers, Dota principles, not countering that one hero, putting everything on them and getting tilted.
Okay. Do we have another one? Do we have one more? We do have one more, okay. We'll just give it a second and we should get our next question from social media. As I said, if you want to send in these social media questions, please do so. You can use Twitter at PGL Esports. The next question is from Skim. And it says, is Team Liquid's drafting and laning too one-dimensional?
I don't think so. I mean,
it's been pretty dynamic this tournament, isn't it?
I wouldn't
maybe not
necessarily
today.
I wouldn't go so far as to call it dynamic, but I wouldn't call it one-dimensional either.
It has to be partially like that. It's a formula. You plan out how your drafts are going to go. You plan how you're going to react when they do things. You plan what your options are. If they ban one of your heroes, you pick the other one. It gives you a cohesive strategy. That way you don't freak out when they last pick Huskar, like we just talked about.
Yeah, agreed.
That's sometimes more detrimental.
All right, thank you very much. These three gentlemen are going to be staying with us for the next series. Hold on to your hats, everyone, because the next series might just get a cheer. It's OG versus Na'Vi.
Next matchup, Na'Vi versus OG.